We come now to a very sacred place in Texas, but this is the Alamo. And there are many names, and you can laughingly say who died in the Alamo, and you can, off the top of your head, say all of them. But there seems to have been some scholarly research, and we're going to come now with this number of 189. And I'm just going to mention Barrett, Davy Crockett, and some of these, because these were the big name. Bonham. It was just a complete conglomeration of people who had come from all parts of the United States, fighting for the cause of freedom and trying to get rid of this oppressive Santa Anna, who was absolutely corrupt and was trying to get something for nothing. So they reinforced the Alamo in order to make it impregnable. And there were certain areas of the Alamo that did not have any really specific way. And of course there's a wonderful movie that you can watch and see, and it will be historically inaccurate, but it does tell you that a lot of people died. The story of the general who drew a line in the sand and said, those of you who wish to remain, walk this line, and nobody moved. They all stepped up to the line and said they would stay with the commander. Most people died. They had been very, very starving. They did have a well, and the well is still there, and it's quite a monument. There's a wonderful tree in the Alamo area when you go into the part of that area, and it's a wonderful tree. It shades the well, and kids want to hang on the branches, and I'm sure they were hanging on the branches then. I've already told you about the one lady that was allowed to take her child and exit. But the majority of the people did die. There is a story that several of them kind of turned tail and ran, but there's no scholastic, there's no real academic things to note that. There was one man who was given a letter, we know, to carry to Sam Houston, and so he would be a legitimate person. But the Santa Anna Army did not treat the defenders of the Alamo in a civil way, and I think that's what has bothered the people in Texas all this time. They piled their bodies up, they desecrated them, and in most cases they were burned. So the Alamo is a shrine in Texas, and well said. It dealt definitely with the Texas Constitution, 1845, and there had already been a massacre at Goliad earlier, and they were trying to march to the help of the Alamo. So the Alamo became the place. Remember the Alamo, and this was a rallying cry, even in later wars, Spanish-American War with Teddy Roosevelt. They would use that same thing to rally the troops. Also, they used it in World War II, World War I. Remember the Alamo. So it was kind of an interesting thing how popular this particular shrine in Texas began.